Hi everybody, and welcome to another 180 Markets Weekly Wrap. And well, Sean, the bear claws, they are out.
Unfortunately, our market is now entering bear territory. That's a 10% correction. We're not there yet, but the way things are going by the close of the day, it could be pretty close.
That's right, and we're at that spot where unfortunately the gap between growth and value is very wide. So we really are in no man's land.
Unfortunately, not a lot of good news this week. I mean, there were a couple of movers that we'll take a look at, but placements as well. There weren't many. Let's take a look at the screens. Let's take a look at the 180 Markets platform. As we said, not a lot of placements this week. Hillgrove Resources. This used to be one of my favorite copper stocks, Greg. I used to love trading this one back in the day. They've been really disappointing of late. They ended up raising 13 million through a placement and going to conduct a SPP as well at that 3.5 cent level. So yeah, good luck to Hillgrove. Hopefully better things are around the corner. Now another copper stock that we follow is New World Resources.
Yes.
They hit the market today. Greg, you like this one or just follow this one?
I do. They've got the Antler Copper project in Arizona. The chairman is Richard Hill, who's very well known. And Sean, what I noticed is that both with New World and Hillgrove, both copper companies, both relatively small discounts on their placements.
That's right, and that's what we love to see. Yeah, it normally means it'll hold up better in the aftermarket, and usually it means it's cornerstone pretty well. Now, one with no discount at all was Invian IVX. They raised money at 14 cents. There were options involved, so I guess if you look at it that way, that offsets the no discount. But yeah, Invian is one that we raised for about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They were one of the market darlings back in the good old days. Their market cap was over $1 million. Sorry, over 100 mil.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 10, and it's a very common thing we're seeing. What's live? We got Celsius, CLA. They had some big news, I think, early in the week about financing for their project. And now they've hit the market. They were trading come raise. So good luck to the boys at PAC. Hopefully you get that 2 to 3 million done. GCI, I think we've mentioned a few times, it's still open, closing in a couple of weeks. New Age Exploration, NAE, they hit in the market again. They have become a bit of a serial raiser, raising money at just 0.4 this time. This one has been a not too good performer, Greg.
No.
One thing that I always remember about New Age is whenever I've spoken to them, they only want investors that aren't going to sell their stock. I'm just not sure why. Maybe they just want to keep losing those investors' money.
And Sean, that's why you also need to do your own research.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's just I often see placements where they say we only want tight investors. They are normally the worst performers because they're always sellers, and don't know, maybe it's who knows who's selling. Anyway, EMN, Euro Manganese, not one that I follow, only did a 6.5% discount. Greg, do you follow this one?
I don't. A stock I know used to be quite a bit higher though.
Correct. One IPO on the platform. We did mention it last week. WAM Income Maximizer. Now, if you want to maximize your income, people, I don't know, there are probably better ways to maximize it. But yeah, with low risk, this one could be a punt.
And these ones, again, Sean, are becoming more popular as the growth stocks sell off.
That's right. This one wasn't offering as high yields as the last few we've seen, like QRI and GCI, but maybe it's low risk, who knows. Now let's take a look at the iris. One company that has been moving upwards nicely has been Avecho, AVE. Now, we raised money for them about, a year ago, and it wasn't a great performer, but finally it's been trading above raise price, and there were a lot of free options given as well. Now, Avecho is one of those that went up on rumor and got sold down a bit on fact. Greg, tell investors about this one. I know you know a lot about it.
Yep, Avecho, very well done. Dr. Paul Gavin Paul has announced a non-dilutive funding agreement with pharma giant Sandoz. And Sean, this is truly seminal news for the company, both on the funding basis and their research credibility going into phase 3. And look at the share price. It's doubled in the last month. As you said, a little bit of selling on the news, but still a great announcement. And Paul, well done. You've got more hair than Sean, which says a lot.
Greg, you did film an interview with Paul this week. I watched it and I could see the you and your element there. Investors can find that on our website. Now, another mover was RAD, Radio Farm. They are down today, but they did list on the NASDAQ about 2 or 3 months ago, and finally it got attention over there. It was trading at a price equivalent a lot higher than 3 cents where it is now. But yeah, I think investors are just warming up to this one overseas. They're trying to work out the true value, which is always very hard with these biotechs. Now, biotech, which fell a lot this week, was ACW, Actinogen. Now, this falls a bit out of nowhere because it was trading really well. There was a lot of buying and a lot of selling. And then the buying just stopped and this thing tanked. So I was watching it intraday. Now, the market obviously has been tough and biotechs haven't been doing well, but this one fell about 35% intraday on the one day. And yeah, it hasn't really recovered. So interesting to see there what happens with Actinogen.
And Sean, can I just stop you? If you punch up Opthea, OPT, very similar chart, same time.
Yep, no, it's amazing. Things were feeling so good 2 weeks ago and completely turned around, and you just see selling follows selling. One stock brings it and another one follows. So very disappointing this week. Let's look at more positive news. LMS, they had a big run this week. Greg, they are a copper stock?
LMS, they got an interesting drill for cash deal. And what it shows you is that instead of having to pay a driller to drill their upcoming drill program, the company took shares instead. And Sean, is certainly a boost of confidence, number one, and number two, very economical for the company.
That's right. EGR. Why are we talking about EGR, Greg?
EGR, they did get a development approval in Tanzania, Sean, and there was a lot of volume. I think the stock came back really with the overall market, but Andrew Spinks, well done getting that approval.
All right, that's a wrap. Pretty tough out there. A lot of red in the screens. Greg, anything exciting for you on the weekend?
Well, it's the first weekend of footy, Sean.
And I know you don't watch footy, so you're just saying that just to make yourself look good.
That is true.
Yep, even your team is playing tomorrow night. Do you know where they're playing, Greg?
No idea, Sean.
Thought so. You'll have to ask your son. All right, have a great weekend, everyone.